After choosing the Corpo Warpo life path, you customize your character. I don't like to waste too much time on this bullshit, adjusting the size of my virtual dick, nose size, eyebrow gap, and whatnot, what have you. So I start the game immediately, do some deeds, and finally get hold of a .9mm pistol gun. You aim, and the default auto-aim is strong. The game practically plays itself, which is actually a big sin. You hop into the settings and turn it off immediately. You gun shoot fools and watch stupid ass numbers pop out of them. Worst of all, your bullets feel like they're merely tickling the goon's testicles. There's no sense of impact whatsoever. I'm shooting metal shrapnel, but it feels more like I'm shooting limp dick darts. Hand-to-hand combat feels mad wacky and looks lamer than hot shit on a stick. You pick up a bunch of garbage throughout the world, half of which you have no idea where the fuck it goes once you collect it, let alone what the fuck it's used for. You hop into a car and it feels very floaty. The cars are also very slow, even at top speed, and driving feels claustrophobic because of the narrow streets. It's not like GTA 5 where you can drive at breakneck speeds and have wide open streets to tear through. The music selection while driving is acceptable, but frankly there are only a handful of tracks I really liked. There are no copters or jetpacks you can use to fly around and explore the rooftops and whatnot, so you feel kind of limited in terms of mobility here. You want to explore the city vertically. You want that feeling of freedom and to admire glorious views from the rooftops, but this game is focused on the ground level, and the closest you can get to exploring the city vertically is hopping on elevators to explore higher floors of certain buildings. You feel trapped and claustrophobic in the city because of narrow streets, lack of vertical mobility, the first-person point of view, slow cars, the web of infrastructure tangled above, all while being teased by flying cars overhead and the occasional scripted chopper ride. Maybe this feeling is what the game's going for, to make you feel like a victim of the city rather than someone who can express dominion over it. But the game is less fun because of it. Also, this is not an action game. This is a talking game. You sit and listen to long dialogue and make decisions about what to say. I skip most of it because it's boring and very time consuming. This dude could have stopped talking 2 business days ago, with no detriment to the story, but he's still yapping. V, the dude you play as, is also a very boring character. He's just a tough guy meathead. He's the least interesting character in the game. I don't want to passively listen to endless dialogue. I want action. I want to jump off rooftops and into a flying car. I want to infiltrate Arasaka headquarters in the middle of the night and do a CIA operative James Bond spy mission. I want to scale the side of a skyscraper using my Mission Impossible gloves to catch an evil guy and then jump off it with a parachute and admire the views as I float down while badass music plays in the background. I don't want to do tedious so-called brain dance missions that make me want to chew glass. I don't want to control a roboto and guide it from point A to point B. There are some cool moments here that make you feel like you're in a James Bond movie, but the game doesn't take advantage of it from a gameplay perspective, which is such a wasted opportunity given the incredible overall premise and aesthetic of this game. When you get introduced to Bionic Arm Man, you do a brainless mission where you gun down goons with a machine gun from a chopper. The gameplay situations are very generic and uninspired, but I will say that the music that plays while you're gun shooting goons as Bionic Arm Man is badass, and so is the reload animation, but it cannot compensate for the bonehead gameplay because it's like having sprinkles on shit. The city itself is a hollow shell. It's spectacular to look at, but that's it. Blade Runner vibes, neon signs, futuristic neo-noir architecture, holographs that stretch the already towering towers far into the sky, adding a sense of immensity and futurism to the city. Unholy adverbs, all sorts of infrastructures that tangle into each other, making the world extremely visually dense and layered. You've also got many interiors that are equally as densely designed and dripping with atmosphere. The city is so wondrous to look at and absorb the artistry of with your eyes, particularly at night. It's irritating because you want to chew it with your teeth like tasty candy, but you can't. But the most irritating part is that they wasted such a beautiful city on such a mediocre game. For reasons that I do not fully understand and that are beyond my articulatory capabilities, Night City feels dead. Maybe it's because of the low street traffic, or dumb NPCs, or just the lack of interactivity and dynamism. It feels static and more like eye candy rather than something that reacts to you believably. It's great to admire from afar, but from up close, the illusion of a bustling metropolis teeming with interesting stories and things to do falls apart. None of your actions in the city feel like they hold any weight. You run over pedestrians and then evade the police without even trying. The NPCs react to you like level 1 bonehead programs. Every interaction with the city just feels superficial, especially when compared to games like GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. It really sucks because the overall sci-fi concept and aesthetic of this game is ripe with potential, excels in the art and music department, but it's mediocre in almost all other aspects. It feels unfinished even 5 years after release, and hella updates. Anyway, you keep playing, waiting for shit to kick into high gear, some excitement, pizzazz. You're at the point in the story where you need to question Night City's inhabitants about the whereabouts of Evelyn. So you make your way over to the unholy village of Dicks and Dongs and talk to a couple of bozos. But before you know it, you're in another brain dance mission, and that's when you call it quits. You've played 4 hours of the game via a free trial, nearly 5 years after refunding the original PS4 version of the game for being broken, and the shit is still a dud.